A lot of things this case has stopped me from doing, traveling all across the world, making. So I just want to get it over with, and, accept my guilty plea. I'm ready to get over it.
Boosie Badazz is staring down the real threat of federal prison time, with whispers of that old 2005 murder-for-hire case creeping back into the spotlight. And right when things couldn't get heavier, here comes Charleston White, circling like a vulture, ready to turn Boosie's pain into his next viral victory. Just recently, Boosie pleaded guilty to illegal gun possession after one of the most tense courtroom battles of his life. He told the judge he was tired of fighting, but don't mistake that exhaustion for weakness. That's strategy. Boosie's not folding. He's thinking 3 steps ahead, moving smart while the world waits to see his next play. But the real noise isn't even from the case itself. It's from Charleston White.
Boosie going to jail! Oh, God! Oh, God!
The internet's self-proclaimed truth-teller who feeds on chaos and humiliation like it's oxygen. He's been watching Boosie's every move, waiting for a stumble, waiting for a moment to pounce. Now fans are asking the real question. Will Boosie stand tall through this storm, or is Charleston about to snatch the last laugh? One thing's for sure, this beef is far from over, and what's happening behind the scenes might be even crazier than what's online. Boosie Badazz just doesn't look like the same fiery force we're used to seeing. The man who once lit up timelines, clapping back at every troll and standing 10 toes down online, now seems drained. His social media tells the story. That Instagram reel from May titled, "I Got Rest," hit hard. It wasn't just another post, it was a cry of fatigue from someone who's been fighting battles in and out the courtroom. But this runs way deeper than stress from the feds. Boosie's been battling diabetes, and now his health has become the top priority. Resting and staying grounded ain't weakness, it's survival. He's balancing his mind, his body, and his peace, all while the whole world watches.
Boosie just pled guilty, and he's facing up to 15.
God answered my prayers.
Why?
Because I prayed for him to be found guilty. Y'all don't remember? I prayed.
No, I remember.
Fans have been holding him down heavy, dropping prayers, encouragement, and love all through his comments. It's like a virtual lifeline, keeping him afloat while the storm keeps raging. Still, while the fans lift him up, Charleston White keeps trying to drag him right back down. This ain't regular trolling anymore. This is straight-up psychological warfare. Every time Boosie tries to breathe easy, Charleston slides in with another jab, another wild statement, another viral shot just to stir the pot. And recently, on Say Cheese, Charleston took it even further, throwing shade with that slick smile like he enjoys the chaos. The contrast couldn't be clearer. Boosie's leaning on faith and healing, while Charleston's feeding on drama and pain. It's a dangerous mix, and the tension between them is starting to feel explosive. You can feel it bubbling under the surface like a volcano about to blow. The real question now, how much longer can Boosie keep his cool before Charleston finally crosses that line? Boosie already spoke on it during his Vlad interview, admitting he heard what Charleston said but choosing to brush it off with a calm, "Yeah, I heard." That right there showed control, but even the calmest storm has a breaking point. To see why this feud runs so deep, you gotta rewind to late 2022. That's when the spark that lit this whole fire first hit. It all started when Boosie called out Kanye West for wearing that White Lives Matter shirt during Paris Fashion Week. Boosie stood firm, calling it flat-out disrespectful to Black culture. But Charleston White? He flipped the script completely, defending Kanye and clowning Boosie for even speaking up. That moment right there turned a cultural disagreement into a full-blown personal war. From then on, Charleston's been on a non-stop rampage, dragging Boosie's name, crossing lines that most people wouldn't dare. He didn't just come for Boosie, he came for his family too. He went after Boosie's son, Tootie Raw, and even dragged T.I.'s son, King Harris, into the mess. Mocking them online, calling names, predicting arrests like it was some kind of game. But things turned deadly serious in 2023 when Charleston actually bragged about tipping off the feds.
Charleston White was celebrating you taking the plea deal. I think he even said he hopes you die in jail and stuff like that.
Yeah, I heard.
Claiming he was the reason Tootie got arrested on drug and gun charges. That's not just petty talk anymore. That's personal, dangerous, and it's pushing this feud into territory that could explode at any moment. Charleston didn't just sit back and celebrate in silence. He put it all out there for the world to see. He laughed about Boosie's legal chaos online, mocking his pain like it was some kind of joke. That's not petty shade anymore. That's psychological pressure designed to cut deep, and it's the kind of pressure that's hard for anybody to ignore. But Charleston didn't stop there. He's dragged Boosie's health into the mud too, making cruel jokes about his diabetes, even saying things like Boosie could be denied insulin or that his body might fail him. Those comments aren't just disrespectful, they're an open attack on Boosie's vulnerabilities, hitting where it hurts most. Meanwhile, social media has turned into a war zone. Countdowns, prayers, and public taunts flying back and forth while fans flood Boosie with support, trying to keep him steady. Yet Charleston keeps pushing, escalating every time, making it crystal clear that he wants Boosie not just embarrassed, but locked up for the maximum sentence. Let's keep it real. This feud left clout chasing behind a long time ago. This is full-on psychological warfare aimed at wearing Boosie down and turning every setback into a public spectacle. And Charleston's history explains why he's so dangerous at it. As a teenager, he testified in a juvenile case connected to Michael Levy, going against a friend involved in the incident. Coupled with his gang ties and time in juvenile detention, it shows a lifetime of using the legal system and public pressure to manipulate outcomes. This isn't random trolling anymore. This is cold, calculated strategy, and Boosie's recent legal struggles have only given Charleston more leverage to play his game. So what exactly did Boosie do that got Charleston White this fired up? Here's the truth. Boosie's been tangled in a federal nightmare that just won't let go.
Why slap him for what, nigga? When you had a 15-year-old hitman, nigga, that murdered black people. Who next, Boosie?
It all started back in June 2023, when what was supposed to be a chill Instagram live shoot in San Diego turned into chaos. Cops pulled up, searched the car, and found not one, but two guns, a Glock and another handgun. Just like that, Boosie's whole world flipped upside down in seconds. At first, things looked like they might settle down. The state dropped the charges in mid-2023, and for a moment, fans thought he was finally catching a break. But nah, the feds weren't done. Federal prosecutors came right back, refiling the same exact charges and putting Boosie right back in the crosshairs. By July 2024, it seemed like justice might swing in his favor again. A federal judge dismissed the case, pointing to a Ninth Circuit Court ruling that made it unconstitutional to charge nonviolent felons for gun possession. But that small win didn't last long. Prosecutors quickly tweaked their angle, reshaped the case, and dragged Boosie right back into court for another exhausting round. By mid-2025, you could see the toll it was taking. Mentally, physically, emotionally. Years of fighting the system had worn him down. On social media, he started showing signs of fatigue, posting about needing peace and admitting he was tired of spinning his wheels. Finally, in August 2025, Boosie made the move nobody saw coming. He took a plea deal. He pled guilty to one count of illegal gun possession with the second charge dropped. The deal recommended about 2 years behind bars. Not freedom, but at least closure. Still, the whole saga left scars, and that's exactly when Charleston White started circling again, ready to twist the story and keep the spotlight burning hot. The plea deal didn't just stop at prison time, it came with 3 years of supervised release too. Boosie talked it over with his family and decided accepting the deal wasn't a loss, it was a survival move. This wasn't defeat, this was strategy. A man choosing peace over pride to make it through. His sentencing is set for later this year, and no one, not even Charleston White, knows if this marks Boosie's breaking point or just another wild chapter in his roller coaster story. But one thing's clear, Boosie's been smart through all of it, while Charleston's been out here wild and online, loud, messy, and non-stop with the attacks. Boosie's chosen a different path, pure strategic silence. And make no mistake, that silence isn't about fear, it's about survival. When you're sitting under the weight of federal charges, you learn fast that one wrong word can turn into a weapon in court. In his interview with Tony the Closer, Boosie broke it down straight. He doesn't speak on certain matters because his words could literally be flipped and used against him. That's real talk. Then he doubled down during his Vlad TV sit-down, saying flat out that some people just aren't worth the energy or the argument. And honestly, he's right. Why feed Charleston's fire when the man's entire hustle revolves around provoking chaos? By keeping quiet, Boosie's not just avoiding drama, he's protecting his freedom. He's making sure he doesn't give the feds a single soundbite, a single quote, or a single slip that could stretch his sentence longer. That's not weakness. That's chess, not checkers. Boosie knows exactly where he stands right now, vulnerable, under pressure, and with every move being watched. That's why instead of falling into Charleston's traps, he's choosing restraint. Because let's be real, Charleston White isn't just some loudmouth on the internet. This man has turned controversy into a career. With millions of followers across YouTube, Instagram, and every other platform you can think of, he knows exactly how to play the system. Every time Charleston says Boosie's name, it turns into a viral moment. Clips flying everywhere, headlines popping up, algorithms spinning his drama into gold. He's mastered the art of shock value. He drops wild statements, crosses lines, and keeps escalating beefs until everyone's tuned in. We've seen him pull the same stunt before, like when he tangled with Aiden Ross and caused such a stir that even Vlad had to speak on it. That's how far his reach goes. He doesn't just chase clout, he controls the conversation. The danger, though, is that Charleston doesn't care who he burns in the process. He said things so extreme that they can't even be repeated online. But that's part of his brand. The more offensive, the louder the noise, and the bigger the spotlight. He feeds off outrage like it's his oxygen. So when Charleston turns that energy toward Boosie, mocking him, twisting his story, bringing up old pain, those words ripple across millions of screens. They shape how casual viewers see Boosie, no matter what the truth is. And let's not front, Boosie's no angel, and Charleston knows it. He keeps bringing up that Marlo Mike case, the darkest chapter in Boosie's history. That 2005 murder-for-hire charge wasn't light work. Prosecutors accused Boosie of paying 17-year-old Marlo Mike $2,800 to take out Terry Boyd during a Baton Rouge turf war. It was deadly serious. Boosie sat on death row, locked in near solitary confinement while Louisiana tried to take his life for it. That past is something Boosie will carry forever, and Charleston knows exactly how to weaponize it, using old wounds to stir new drama in front of millions. The so-called evidence that built the case against Boosie came straight from Marlo Mike's jailhouse confession, a confession he later took back, saying cops threatened and coerced him into it. Still, prosecutors used everything they could find to tie Boosie in. Phone records showing contact between Marlo and Boosie's studio before the hit, and even that infamous tattoo Marlo got afterward, which supposedly linked him to Boosie. They tried to paint a picture of a rapper-turned-mastermind running the streets from behind the mic. But Boosie's defense wasn't having it. His lawyers came swinging, arguing that Marlo Mike was acting on his own, a young gun already mixed up in other murders, battling mental health struggles, and influenced by the chaos around him. After nearly 5 brutal years behind bars, Boosie finally got his day in court, and in 2012, the jury saw through the lies. His legal team tore Marlo's credibility to shreds, and the verdict came back not guilty. Boosie walked out a free man, but that freedom came with a shadow that never truly faded. That trial became one of the most infamous stories in hip-hop history, a stain Charleston White loves to dig back up anytime he wants to stir the pot. And that's where things get real dangerous for Boosie. Every time Charleston reopens those old wounds, it sparks new whispers in the media, reignites public suspicion, and forces everyone around Boosie to wonder if those ghosts from 2005 still haunt him to this day. Charleston's whole playbook is wild. His strategy is straight up pouring gasoline on a fire that's already burning. And when it comes to Boosie's future, things are getting real serious. That plea deal might recommend around 2 years behind bars, but let's keep it honest. Those federal gun charges carry a maximum of 15 years. Yeah, you heard that right. 15, which means the chance of a decade or more locked away isn't off the table at all. Now think about what that really means for Boosie. 10 years gone would rip him away from his kids, his family, and his grind during the years he should be solidifying his legacy. His music, his public image, the momentum he's been rebuilding piece by piece, all of that could freeze in time. A sentence that long doesn't just cost time, it changes lives. So even though the plea deal looks light on paper, the truth behind it is way darker. The feds still hold the power, and Charleston's out here weaponizing public opinion like a pro. Boosie's not just fighting a legal case, he's battling for his legacy, his career, and his freedom. Every move counts now. And when it comes to opinions, the streets are split right down the middle. Some folks say Charleston's just keeping it real, dragging up Boosie's past and holding him accountable for what the system couldn't. They claim he's shining a light where others stayed quiet. But then, on the flip side, you got a wave of fans standing tall for Boosie, calling him a survivor who's fought through false accusations, the death penalty, and years of pain. To them, Charleston doesn't look like a truth teller. He looks like a man obsessed with tearing down another Black success story. And that divide is everywhere. On podcasts, in barbershops, all over TikTok, and Clubhouse. Some swear Charleston's pressure might push Boosie over the edge, while others think he's just loud noise chasing his next viral moment. Either way, the speculation keeps feeding the drama, and the community can't stop talking. Now, just picture this. If Boosie really ends up getting close to 10 years, the internet's gonna explode. Non-stop headlines, viral clips, fans arguing day and night, and right in the center of it all, Charleston White, probably celebrating like it's his own victory parade, bragging that he was the one who brought Boosie down. That's the tightrope Boosie's walking right now. One slip could change everything. This ain't just about a plea deal or a court date anymore. It's about his name, his reputation, and his survival. Every headline, every silence, every reaction will shape whether Boosie Badazz is remembered as the fighter who outlasted the system or as another legend crushed by the weight of it all. So tell me what you think. Is Charleston pushing Boosie toward the edge, or is Boosie about to flip the script once again? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like, share, and subscribe, 'cause this story, it's far from over.